As a first-time mom, you can get overwhelmed with how many baby products are out there and what are essential. Now that I'm getting to the end of the 4th trimester, for the 4th time, I wanted to share what really has helped us get through those first 3 months because they are hard. So if this video sounds interesting to you, stay tuned, give it a big thumbs up because it really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that bell to get notified every Monday and Thursday. And let's get into our newborn essentials surviving that 4th trimester. If this is our first time meeting, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Beck and I have currently got a 10-week-old baby boy and he is our 4th child. So we have done this 4th trimester now 4 times over, and reflecting on each kid and their different personalities, I have broken down to 4 categories of essential items that I think are definitely worth your money, and giving you some alternatives of what I think are definitely basics and areas in which if you have the ability to splurge a little bit. So the 4 categories are sleep, eat, transportation, and changing. In the first category of sleep, it's really important that you have a safe place for your baby to sleep in, and this is going to come down to personal preference. For our kids, we've had all different types of sleeping places. We've had cots, we've had side sleepers, and we've had bassinets and cradles. Our personal preference after having the 4 kids is definitely a cradle, especially for those first 3 months, because babies love to have that motion. They're so used to you moving and grooving when they're in your belly that when they get out into the world, they really don't like to be still. And we find having that cradle is great, especially when you are so sleep deprived. I have found many a night rocking the cradle with my foot while I'm lying down in bed half asleep. So I highly recommend getting a cradle, but definitely an item that I would say is an essential for us. We've really found it to save our sanity in that 4th trimester, especially when you have other kids and you can't always be with them, giving them what they want, is a baby swing. Now, baby swings can be quite expensive. However, if you wait for stock take sales or like Boxing Day sales, clearance sales, whatever sort of sale, you can pick really good ones up for cheap, and that is what we have done. I have done a review on the baby swing that we've got, so if you want to see what we're using, then stay tuned to the end screen, or you can go into the description box below after watching this and watch that review. This swing we call our sanity swing because it really has saved us when things just become really overwhelming. So our kids have always liked motion. We found with the basic swings that only swing in one direction that they are a bit hard because sometimes Bub likes to swing side to side, sometimes they like swinging forwards and backwards, and so investing in a good swing allows you to have that capability. It also, the swing that we have mimics the car seat, which our Bubs love. They love that kind of, vibrating part, and it also has white noise. And if I don't have any other place to put him, I will put him in the swing, and he is usually content in the swing if he doesn't fall asleep. Most of the times he does fall asleep. Swings are great and I highly recommend it as an essential. If you are able to splurge, definitely get one. Next category is eating, and it's coming from the perspective of a breastfeeding mom. The first of which is a hucker. If you don't know what a hucker is, then once again in the description box below, I will leave my video that I have recently filmed reflecting on all of my breastfeeding journeys. This has changed the game for me when it comes to breastfeeding because I have been able to now have a frozen storage supply of milk, which I've never had before, and it's something that gives me peace of mind when navigating through the 4th trimester, because there are some nights in particular where I just need sleep, and it's great to be able to just pull some milk out of the freezer, defrost it, and Mick can give the baby a bottle. It also is great because I'm not having to work for it. I feel like when you pump using an electric pump and you don't get any milk, it can be quite disheartening. And I also feel that the sensation of using an electric pump is definitely more, it doesn't feel as natural, where when you're just catching letdowns, I feel like anything is a win and it's awesome. The next is storage containers. This is a game changer for us. We have Avent storage containers that we collect all the milk in, and then I use sticky tape, write the date and the millage, and then we freeze it. These are really good because one, you can reuse them. It's not like the milk pouches where it's once and done. But the other really good thing is once you're past breastfeeding, you can use these containers to store purees in, which is fantastic. I love investing into products that aren't just a once only usage. So we use containers to store milk, and I highly recommend it. It does take up more space in the freezer, but it's just for a short time. Finally, an essential in feeding is bottles. Whether you're bottle feeding or feeding express breast milk, the bottle itself is going to change from kid to kid, and I can't tell you the bottle that is going to be the one size that fits all, because with every child they have liked a different branded bottle. You have gone from Tommy Tippies to Avent to now Edmund likes the Medela bottles because it's what was used in hospital, and he's had a bit of a rough trot to life. He's been using like the hospital bottles, and what works works, and that's fantastic. So if you are going down the route of giving your baby a bottle, you may need to try different brands to find the teat that works best for them. Hopefully the first bottle that you use is going to be the one that sticks, but if not, don't be discouraged, just keep giving it a go. In the category of transportation, there are two things that I highly recommend. The first of which is a capsule that can go into a pram. The ultimate goal for me is to make my life as easy as possible, and I find, especially now that school runs a part of my routine, having 4 kids, waking a sleeping baby is not something that I want to do, so having a capsule is great because if Edmund falls asleep in the car, all I have to do is unclip the capsule from the base, put it in the pram, and off I go. He doesn't get disturbed and he continues his sleep. I also like the fact because they're so little and fragile, that really does protect them. There's no chance of me dropping him by accident or him getting hurt in the transfer from the car seat to the pram. Once he hits probably 6 months, that's when we'll transfer over to a car seat and a pram itself, and we've purchased a double pram because our boys are so close in age. But in regards to newborn essentials, I really do recommend, if you can afford it, to get a pram that comes with that capsule insert because it keeps them safe and it helps them to sleep. And the other item in transportation is a ring sling. I have tried so many different types of carriers over the 4 kids, and I found the ring sling in particular to be easy to wear and easy to wash. I like the fact that it supports them as a newborn so well. It keeps them in that cocoon swaddle state. They're close to you. If you're on the go like me as a 4th time mum, you just put it on, put bub in, adjust it so that they're nice and tight, and then when you're done, you just loosen the ring and take it off, put it in the car, and you're all done. I've used the ones that is the giant fabric things, and they can be so fidgety using. I've also used ones that are more chiropractically safe. So we have a Manduka that I wear. That one is fantastic for when bubs are older, but once again, for newborn essentials, I highly recommend getting a ring sling. Just the easiness of putting a bub into a ring sling is the winner for me. My final category is changing. What do you need in regards to getting them dressed, changing their nappies? Like, do you need to set up a nursery? And the answer for this is no. You don't actually need a lot, and they don't even need to have their own room. Our bubs seem to stay in our room between 6 and 12 months, and within that time period, we've kind of refined what we've classified as essential. The first is a change mat. It's really great just to have the change mat itself. You don't need to have a changing table. We put the change mat on top of our chest of drawers. I put it on the bed. Wherever I need to change him, I just move the change mat. If you're wanting to spend a little bit of extra money, I highly recommend getting some change mat covers, especially if you are changing your bub in winter in those cooler months, because the plastic on the mat I feel is really cold for them, and especially those, you know, late night, early morning changes, you want them to be as comfortable as possible. It's also really great if they have any accidents, you just take the mat off, put it in the washing machine, and just change it over for a new one. In regards to clothes storage, this time around I went out and got a 4 cubed storage unit from Kmart. I think it cost me only $20, With previous bubs, I've just given them one of my drawers in the chest of drawers. However, this time around, I did want to spend a little bit of extra money and get that done. 4 storage bay is perfect for a newborn baby. It's one for nappies, one for wraps, and then we've got one for onesies and one for extra clothes. It covers everything, it keeps it nice and tidy, and this goes on top of our chest of drawers just behind the change mat. So it really isn't taking much room at all, yet it will make your life so much easier. Now, in regards to what do you need to buy specifically to have, you know, your baby all sorted, I recommend getting a barrier or nappy cream, because sometimes your bub will get nappy rash and it's really great just to protect the little bottom and heal it up. It is really important to obviously have nappies. We like to splurge and get branded names just because we feel like it holds everything in, especially overnight. It's not gonna leak on you. When it comes to baby wipes, I've learnt from personal preference not to get any that have fragrances. We just go for the water ones, and that seems to work really well. You're obviously gonna need to get some clothes depending on the season, will depend what you get. We find that we have a couple of onesies and then a couple of like 2-piece outfits, and that works quite well. They're not gonna know what they're wearing, and so you don't need to spend a lot of money. Also, if you can go op shopping or get hand-me-down clothes, it is perfect. Because babies grow so fast at this age, you're going to get clothes that pretty much look brand new and pass them on once you're finished with them. When it comes to where do you put your nappy, there are so many products out there for nappy bins, but I personally feel within the newborn stage, the essential item is a plastic bag. Even though you're going through a lot of nappies because you're changing them so frequently, they're not big enough that it deems a nappy bin at this stage. I love using our nappy bin, especially for our toddler, but as a newborn, it really is easy just to have a plastic bag that you put your nappies in, and then once that bag is full, put it out in the big trash can or rubbish bin, and then get a fresh bag. And then finally, a baby bath. This is an item that is great to do like those bonding times, and we've recently discovered that I can use my breast milk to put in there for milk baths. Otherwise, you can just have a shower with your bub. I always get Michael to supervise and then get him out, but you don't really need to have a baby bath if you don't want to afford one, but if you do, it really is a great way, especially for dads, to bond with their bubs. Thank you so much for watching this newborn essential videos. I hope it has helped you in figuring out what newborn products you really need to survive that 4th trimester. There are so many things out there and people will swear by them, but as a 4th time mom, we really have learned to be minimal in what we are putting into our home, and especially having 6 members under one roof, we're not wanting to clutter our house at all. And this is the stuff that we've used to survive these last 3 months. So if this has been helpful for you, please give this video a big thumbs up because it really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that bell so you get notified when we upload every Monday and Thursday, because this parenting gig doesn't come with a rule book, we only have each other. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.